What was your first time having sex like? Mine was actually decent, but I'm the only person I know who can say that. It'll get way better later, and you'll forget all about it. If it makes you feel any better, my friend got scammed into paying for an abortion when she got pregnant his first time. First times are usually bad and frequently overrated. Don't sweat it. What you're describing feels normal, and with time, the sex will both increase in quality and become less high stakes in your mind. My first time, I was drunk as fuck. It was with a girl I had been crushing on and having a we're not dating but totally are type fling for the summer. Lost it on my parents' kitchen floor while they were out of town. It sucked so bad I couldn't get all the way hard, had to fight to come. It was just awful all around. Second time, another girl, felt great but was over in literally 3 pumps. I tried to fake it but went limp almost immediately, and girl in a disappointed, shocked voice said, "Did you come?" And it just crushed me. Didn't have really great sex until the third time with yet another girl. Since then it's been terrible, and it's been mind-blowingly amazing, but that's just the way it goes. Among the top 2 worst sex I've ever had, definitely. I was 20 and I didn't know what I was doing. I was too nervous to take the charge, and the condom was children's size, so I had little to no blood flow to my dick, which made it numb. To top it all off, my foreskin couldn't retract fully when erect at that time, so it was also painful. Still with her a little over a year later. My first time was very nice. I remember it fondly. Having said that, long term it doesn't matter that much. It takes years and a few partners to learn what you like in bed and to get really good in and enjoy it a lot. I think the stat is that average men sleep with 5 to 8 women in their lifetime. You'll meet next ones and you'll have new memories. This won't probably be your last disappointing one either. Perhaps you'll meet an amazing girl one day, but you'll discover that she's a starfish in bed. Or you'll go overboard and do something crappy to some other girl and have a hangover about that for days, weeks/months. And then you'll meet some girls that will be amazing in bad, but not so much outside of it. Or ones that will be amazing everywhere, but will not want you. It's all about the exploration. That feeling you have of a disappointment and emptiness, a spiritual hangover, you'll have more than once. It's a price to be paid if you want to be a good lover and find a good lover. I was moderately older than average, and she was way more experienced than me, despite being a couple years my junior. I didn't tell her beforehand, and she just happened to put on some mood music, so that was neat. That said, one of the songs that came on was Ray Charles' America the Beautiful, so that's always got a fun connotation to me now. First time I had sex was on Santa Monica Beach. It was the evening. First date, we were both 17 and virgins. She had a flat chest and no curves but a very attractive face, and she was very willing. It was alright, nothing amazing. Kinda messy since I had broken her hymen and we had to stop for a moment to clean it up. She became my girlfriend and we had better sex in the next few months, honestly. Losing your V-card is overhyped. Don't sweat it. Just focus on finding someone you like and being with them. It was cool. I shot the biggest load of my life. That was 6 years ago and still holds the record. That shit came out at mock, I'm telling you. My first time was with someone I cared about, pretty much as perfect as it could be, I think. But, while it was a good time, it was still awkward because I had no idea what I was doing. You have much better to look forward to someday. And a few years from now, losing it probably won't be the big deal that it feels like right this moment. A milestone, yes, but not huge in the grand scheme. It hurt. It felt like being stuck in a wet zipper. It got better in later times, but the absolute first one gave me that feeling. It was with the girl I wanted to lose it to. She knew it would be my first time, and basically made it perfect for me. Lots of foreplay, and we tried a bunch of different positions over the course of like 5 to 6 hours. The only bad thing was that the condom was slightly too tight, and I couldn't come from PIV, but she gave me a hand job to finish me off. Don't know, happened when I blacked out. I feel that. I only remember like half the night, whatever. But I'm sorry, man. Are you cool with that or? Because I feel like that's... I didn't care either way. If I didn't bang her that night, I was gonna bang her in the morning. I'm just happy it's gone. Forgettable. As in, I don't actually remember it. Granted, it was like 25 years ago, but still, I do remember my first blowjob. And I'm sure it was forgettable as well. LOL. My ex put the condom on, and that's as far as he got as he orgasmed then. The second time he got the condom on, got on top of me, then he came. Third time was the charm, and we had sex. He didn't last very long. It was okay, but was kinda lame. I have since had much better sex. I regret having sex with him. After we started having sex, he turned into an abusive asshole. But I don't regret having sex when I did. You live and you learn, and you move on. My first time wasn't consensual, and my mother was there. My first consensual time was complicated. My first consensual time with someone appropriate was nerve-wracking and upsetting and eventually wonderful. Do you care to elaborate on the first two? If not, that's fine, and I'm sorry to hear that. At least the third one was good? LOL, it's just not a fairy tale? The whole virginity hype in general is so retarded. Normally I would agree with that, but my first time was very fairy tale, and I'm glad that I did it with who I did it with. Well, not to throw salt in the wound, but my first time was with someone I cared about, and it was pretty good, but practice makes perfect. Up to you, if you want to just have random sex or not. Sounds like you do. Eventually you'll have sex with someone you care about, and hopefully it will be good for you. I suspect that you'll find the process of falling in love with someone better than the sex itself. I suspect that you'll find the process of falling in love with someone better than the sex itself. This is such a true statement. We were both 15, almost 16, and were dating. It was pretty bad, and the condom slipped just a little when I came so naturally, being nervous teens. Both of us thought I had gotten her pregnant. Cue mental images of Maury saying, "You are the father." When she got her period, both of us celebrated, and the times after that were much better. Similar thing happened to me. Condom was halfway down when we were done. We thought maybe it might have leaked. Next day, she had her period, so that was nice. What a lot of people just don't realize until you arrive on campus is that there is a culture for freshman cherry picking, or rather, breaking the new class in. I've seen it at colleges at all types, including elite ones. They're all the same in this regard, though some more than others. I find this a most disgusting practice, and it simply infuriates me when I see people that are indifferent to it. It's typical macho behavior. Being the best, getting the V card means you're better than all the other guys. Never did like virgins. Lack of experience is a real downer. He couldn't get it in. So I guess that wasn't even my first time, 'cause we just gave up. Sorry, this is my first time posting, so forgive the long story. I've never told anybody about it. Mine was honestly pretty amazing. It was everything I hoped for. We were both in high school when it happened. She invited me over after I told her I was bummed because an ex-girlfriend of mine dropped all my stuff off at my house. So, I drove over to her house and we watched some movies together and we fell asleep on the couch together at like 3 a.m. I woke up and asked her if I could stay the night. She smiled and took me to the bedroom with her. She was extremely patient, and because we'd been friends for a couple years, it already felt really natural and fluid. I'm married to her now. TLDR, my first time was with a close friend, and it was everything I could have hoped for. Wholesome love story is wholesome. Nice, man. You didn't tell me you posted this here. You're so cute. I just couldn't finish. I kept going for like 30 minutes straight and standing missionary with her laying on my bed, my legs starting to shake. I just gave up after that and she started to cry, asking if she wasn't good enough for me. I felt really bad, but I think I was just really nervous about trying to finish. You made Ranch cry? Turns out she was unfortunately blue cheese. This is Rit. Virginity forever. Virginitas aeternum. About 3 seconds and some blood from her. Didn't know it yet, but I have a big... Ripped her open. She had to go to the doctor. Her parents never let me over to her house again. That sounds like a real cluster the first time. Doesn't matter. Had sex. Super awkward. In a car, in a parking lot, with a guy I met on the internet. Just like, bad oral and everything, and the radio was on, and ugh, like warm apple pie. Are you sure it wasn't a warm apple pie? Think so. Felt better than the Giants beating the Pats in the Super Bowl. Lol, good one. Felt so good we did it twice. With a man, I was 17 and it was meh. With a woman, I was 18 and it was awesome and kinda scary. We were 17, her parents went out to eat. They came home early. Did you eat out? Fairly special. It was New Year's Eve and I was 17. It didn't hurt me, and she was more experienced than I, so she was fine with it. What went wrong? I could not orgasm. Started getting sore after a while, Squilly. Same here, dude. I was 14 and I could not nut my load no matter how awesome it was. I was 23, guy. He was a couple years younger, also guy, and it was amazing. I think my fear of the unknown enhanced everything, made it all tingly and electric and exciting. But he was also a true gentleman. He underestimated how clingy I'd be, first time and all, but I think we both enjoyed it even with the ensuing drama, Klein P. Though he seriously didn't need to pull out the Celine Dion when trying to explain to me the difference between love and lust. Painful. Indiana Jones was on in the background, so now I have weird associations with the theme music. I mean, if you weren't already turned on by Indy, then I don't know what to tell you. Someone ruined Indiana Jones for you? That monster? Bad, neither of us had any idea what we were doing, and neither of us realized that there was no penetration happening. So even the first time we did it, we really didn't do it. When I was really young, like 6 or so, I thought the guy put his ding-dong in the girl's belly button. Was it like that? Ha 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 ha. Oh God, I don't even fully understand how that is possible. Pretty similar to my first time. We were both virgins, and he had no experience beyond kissing/groping before me, though I was a little younger than him. I remember it taking several tries over the course of a couple of weeks because it caused me so much pain despite being excited and wet. When I was finally able to fit all of him, he was in a 6, it didn't hurt too much except for when he got too excited and went a little too hard, which happened often. I didn't get off, and he never got me off, together 2+ years, so pretty much every time with him was underwhelming, but I was so in love so I tried not to let it bother me. He did get me a vibrator to help get me off, but it was the most uncomfortable and ineffective thing ever. We were drunk from a night of tequila. She was experienced, which would have made me nervous if I wasn't drunk. I went down on her and did my best, and she said it was the best oral she'd had, which didn't help me at all since I didn't really know what I was doing. The next morning we had hangover sex. I didn't tell her I was a virgin. She still doesn't know she was my first. Don't think mine does either. Glorious and memorable. It was on a ruptured beanbag chair, and the little foam beads were raining down like confetti. It's like you made love inside a snow globe. That's adorable. Happy holidays. I remember it perfectly. It was November 17th. I was so excited. Only 2 days were left until the Nintendo Wii finally came out, and I could go play The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. No joke. This is a true story. Other than that, sex was okay. She was a virgin too, so it hurt her, and I had to go slow. The condom bothered me. She got dry. I didn't come, but hey, I wasn't a virgin anymore, and I was about to get my Wii. That was a fucking awesome weekend for me. I still dated that same girl for about another year. Sex did improve with some time and practice. Shit, man. I was 17 too. Some traumatic shit. She was this chubby Filipino girl named Heidi. I was so nervous for some reason, I couldn't keep it up, and she got really pissed at me. She left, and I spent hours walking around, wondering if I was gay. Later, with somebody I really knew, and who I had a good friendship with, it was a breeze. Awkward at first, but she made me a pro in no time. This made my day. The instant jump to conclusion was outrageously funny. Made the mistake of doing it the most cliché way ever. In the back seat of my first car. I threw down like a pro, had her moaning, enjoying every minute of it, until a cop interrupted. I got caught by cops in the back seat. Not a first-time story. We hadn't gotten to the point of pants off yet, but we're making some very passionate topless making out, so the windows are all fogged up. When she reaches down to unbutton her jeans, we get a knock on the window. She slides over to the opposite side of the car and covers her tits. I open the door. Gentlemen, this area is private property. Yes, gentlemen. As if we're two dudes getting hot and heavy, and one of us has D cups. I miss those. She doesn't say a word. I say, okay, we'll, head on out. For the rest of the relationship, we'd still crack jokes about us being in a gay relationship. In public, she'd show some cleavage, and I'd say, that's a nice rack for a dude. Scary. I was nervous, and she had experience. The entire bit went down poorly, unfortunately. It was early morning. The girl I was seeing at the time warned me at the start of intercourse that she was missing a ball on her nipple ring, and that I could not touch her breasts, otherwise they'd fall out and she'd have to stop and find them. Things are going well enough, until... Well look, you cannot tell a guy to stay away from any sort of breast grabbage during sex, at least not during the first time, so of course in the heat of the moment I touch, and the rings fall out. She gets pissed and stops. Everything comes to a dead halt. Aside from that, I was just really stressed, I guess. The whole condom situation was new to me, and I didn't get any guidance during intercourse. Communication is key. You could not touch her breasts, otherwise they would have fallen out and she would have had to stop and find them. I don't even... 14, in an empty dirty closet of an apartment complex parking port area. painful, couldn't walk right for the next day, and not very awesome. Me, 5'0", him 5'7"-ish, and too large, sadly. Stupid, empty promises of love. In short, I was an idiot. It was like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. My girlfriend, her vagina like sleeve of wizard. I have the same problem with my current girlfriend, but she makes it up with her amazing BJ skills. I try to ignore the correlation between the two when I am with her. 5 seconds. A lot better than expected, actually. Lots of thanks this video. I didn't come early, and she said it was the best she ever had. Probably not true, but I felt like a god afterwards. Not to mention lots of sexual tension being released at that point. Everyone kept telling me sex was overrated, but it's actually way better than I thought. Can anyone verify that the instruction in the video will make a female climax? We were in our early 20s our first time. She wasn't very experienced, and I found out afterwards that I was her second guy. We only had made out in the car, and she would tell me that she should go inside because she wasn't ready to move forward. It was our third or fourth date, and we were in my car making out. Then she put her hand on my lap and started rubbing my cock in my jeans. She was ready, so we went to my place. We had our first time in bed, and I was surprised what she said afterwards. She looked at me and said, "Wow, that's what it's supposed to feel like?" I looked at her very confused, and she told me her first guy couldn't get in her, and what did happen hurt. I told her, well, if you like that, it will get better. We've been together over 40 years, and we did enjoy each other a lot. Giving you an upvote for staying together for 40 years. Congrats. Good enough to keep each other coming back for more. Met as dumb HS teenagers and still married 44 plus years, and after learning and experimenting and adding toys and other stuff, and still going strong. We met online, both divorced. Regular progression. Winks, messages, texts, phone conversations. It was pretty obvious. Very early on, there was a strong connection. Phone conversations continued for 2 months, and we finally arranged to meet in person. Met with a nice hug at the door. Had a wonderful 12-hour-long first date. Brunch, then to a street festival. Few drinks, bar hopping, listening to various bands. Light dinner later, then back to her house. She asked me in. We were standing in the kitchen talking, and I was preparing to leave. I opened the door, turned back to hug her, and told her what a glorious time I'd had. When I hugged her, she moaned softly, so I kissed her and closed the door. We had sex 4 times that night. That was 8 years ago. We're married, and both are amazed by just how awesome marriage can be. We still have fantastic sex 3 to 5 times a week, and have explored a wide range of ways to enjoy one another. I'm 62, and my stunning wife is 55.
Thank you for watching. Write comments, put likes. Do not forget to watching other videos.